I took my first sip of alcohol when I was 13 years old. It was just another day of arguing with my parents, getting into it with my dad. I grew up in a really abusive and chaotic environment. And this one particular day, I was angry because my dad said I couldn't go out with my friends. I raided the refrigerator. There was tons of beer, tons of these things called wine coolers. I remember just chugging a wine cooler and then going to mow the lawn. It led to partying my butt off after my parents got divorced when I was 14, getting super drunk with friends, even driving intoxicated, which, to be honest, I'm not proud of. But once I was in my late teens and my early 20s, I was always looking for an excuse to drink. I actually started to suffer from some pretty severe depression because I wasn't active enough. I wasn't taking care of myself. I can't ever say that I was addicted to alcohol, but I was definitely addicted to how I acted when I was drinking. I was more free. I was funnier. I was more laid back. I tended to have more of a good time. But I knew that I wasn't performing at my best. And over the years, I've always been able to keep alcohol to a minimum. But every time that I have had drinks, I always wake up and regret it the next day because I don't feel my best. I tend to be in a grumpier mood the following day. My workouts aren't as good. I gain weight easier, and I'm just not fully optimized. This past year, I stumbled upon a podcast by a guy named Andrew Huberman, and some of the research and insight that he provided around alcohol intake really had me thinking, do I actually need to drink? How long can I go without drinking alcohol? So in January of 2023, I decided to go completely alcohol free, and my goal was to do 30 days of no alcohol. I ended up doing 50 days, and here's everything I learned. The first thing I learned is that I didn't miss alcohol. I was able to go out and actually still have a good time. It was never something I relied on too much anyways for social support, but I still had that buzz feeling from time to time that tends to make you a little more relaxed, a little funnier, and honestly make other people funny too. But I didn't have that for almost 2 months. And honestly, I didn't miss it. I especially didn't miss the hangovers that I used to get even after only drinking a couple of drinks. I realized it was much, much easier for me to go out, have a good time, and not worry about the next day because I wasn't going to be hungover this time. And so if I had things to do, whether it was take care of my kids with their sports, hang out with my kids, go coach my kids' sports, or just get work done, I wasn't worried or anxious about going out because I wasn't drinking. So the big overall theme there was that I realized alcohol was actually a source of anxiety for me. Honestly, I probably wasn't having as good of a time as I thought I was in comparison to when I was completely sober. I had no anxiety about the next day whatsoever. The second thing I noticed was my digestion improved, specifically not getting heartburn or acid indigestion that oftentimes took place, especially when I'd have alcoholic drinks that included things like sugar, which my screwdrivers are all basically sugar and orange juice, and then obviously the alcohol itself. I would get nasty heartburn at times, even to the point where it'd be in the middle of the night and I would be waking up because it burned so bad. That went away completely. So now, if I don't drink, I know I'm not going to have bad digestion. My sleep's going to be a little bit better, of course, and I'm not going to have to worry about that pain that would oftentimes show up in the middle of the night. The third thing I learned is how much alcohol people actually consume. When I'd be out drinking and having a couple drinks casually with either my wife or friends, I wouldn't really pay attention to how much other people were drinking. And I'm not here to tell you to start judging other people or watching what everybody else does, but it was pretty eye-opening to see people consume alcohol in the quantities that they were consuming it. At times, I just had no idea about the level of consumption that some people had. But being in the sober state and not drinking at all, I was able to literally see people drink themselves stupid night after night in some of the social circles that we roll in. Most importantly, I was able to start to formulate an opinion around the addiction that people struggle with alcohol. I think we're all addicted to things. Even my friend Mark Jennison will tell you, he runs a company called I Am a Comeback. We all have our addiction. In fact, I'm addicted to fitness. I'm addicted to helping people and becoming successful in the process. So addiction in itself isn't a bad thing, but it's easy to place that energy on things that don't serve us. And I can see how alcohol is an easy target for our addiction. It's basically everywhere, on every corner, every convenience store, every grocery store, and it really can give you that nice buzz feeling that relaxes you, lowers your stress temporarily, and makes you just forget about the problems that you're having right now. In a sense, I felt more empathy for people because I realized that for a lot of the people out there that struggle with alcohol, it is because of the things in their life that they're dealing with, and they just don't have an outlet to get rid of that stress. So you're probably wondering, how do I manage alcohol now? Well, let me give you my routine when it comes to alcohol. Now that I've broken my streak, because spoiler alert, I did go 50 days and then I had a drink. But when I had the drink, I realized, man, I hadn't missed this at all. And I thought I could probably go another 50, 60, even 100 days and probably not have any desire to drink alcohol. For now, I always opt for other drinks that I enjoy. Things like a Diet Coke, which I know everyone will tell you Diet Coke makes you fat. Diet Coke doesn't make you fat. In fact, Diet Coke has 0 calories, so scientifically, it can't make you fat. But I also really enjoy sparkling water. I was able to rekindle my love of sparkling water, especially at night. I mix sparkling water with a little bit of lime, a little bit of flavor, and all of a sudden, it's a really enjoyable nightcap and can actually give some relaxation too. From time to time, I will partake in alcohol, but instead of it being once a week, twice a month, or 3 times a month, I'm really trying to narrow it down to just 1 time per month. And something I'm experimenting with that actually has been a surprising turn of events is I'm actually enjoying other types of alcohol that I kind of shied away from before. In this case, wine. So on my birthday in 2022, my wife surprised me with a trip to Paris, France. And when you're in Paris, you got to have the wine. Wine is the greatest thing ever over in France. It's just different. It tastes different. It's smoother. And so I had some white wine over in Paris and I loved it. I'm not a big wine person, but recently, even when I broke my streak, I had a glass of some high quality white wine and I enjoyed it. And I didn't need 2 big glasses. 1 was plenty for me. I felt great. It didn't give me acid indigestion or heartburn or anything like that. In fact, I didn't even have a hangover the next day. So on my maybe once a month enjoyment of a glass of wine, I'm probably going to go for white wine from now on and just see how that goes from here on out. But I'm no longer stuck in the habit of just ordering alcohol because I'm out, or ordering alcohol because it's a birthday party, or ordering alcohol because everyone else is doing it. I'm personally completely fine with not drinking, and I honestly feel even more responsible now to be the person who doesn't drink in a situation where you might need a ride home, or someone might get into something as an argument or anything like that. I'm the person of reason, the voice of reason in some of these social circles. Most importantly, I'm focused on health. And as a father of 2 boys, and the research I've done from guys like Andrew Huberman and others, alcohol really doesn't do a whole lot of positives for your body. In fact, it has some pretty negative consequences long-term if you continue to consume alcohol at a high rate. So I look at it from a benefit standpoint of, hey, I want to be around for as long as possible, living a high quality of life, being super active, doing tons of stuff with my boys. I look at it as a positive. I don't think that there's a need to have alcohol all the time, and I'm adding years to my life instead of taking a potential time off at the end of my life by drinking alcohol. I'm not here to guilt trip you, but what I will tell you is this: I am here to support you. If you're looking for additional resources, I made a video. This would be a good one to check out here about alcohol that I think would be at least educational for you to understand some of the downsides. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out that other video on alcohol. I'll talk to you on the next video. Life moves fast. Make it count. Peace.